Sally Charlton is a member of the Rotary Club of Tailem Bend, and she has a passion for volunteer work. She's recently returned from Cambodia, where she is an active volunteer for the Rotary World Community Service, and particularly on the project Helping Hands. And as President Peter iterated in his earlier remarks, the project Helping Hands is part of our Pete's Manor muster, where we'll actually be seeing these hands and actually have the opportunity for those who wish to assemble them. So Sally's going to tell us more about that, and you're here to listen to Sally and not to me, so could I ask you to welcome Sally Charlton.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I just need to get my stuff in the right place. Rotarians and guests, thank you for the opportunity to come to your club and talk to you about the Hands project. I am excited that you are involved in it already, that you've already purchased 10 hands, along with Murray Bridge Rotary Club, who have purchased another 10 hands, and you were to meet at the Manor Muster in May to put them together. Now, I wanted to quickly just tell you all about my role in the project. I went to a district conference about 3 years ago and heard Terry Daly talk, who is from RAWCS in northern Queensland, and he'd seen the Helping Hands project in a corporate sector area in America, and he'd seen it and thought that it would probably be a really good project for Rotarians to take on. So he brought it back to Australia, and he has put it out to Rotary clubs throughout Australia. Not quite the same, it's still a team building project, but in a bit of a different way. So I saw him talk. I was probably not that active member of my Rotary club. I wasn't in any committees, and I'd never been on the board, and you know, I was an okay member. Did lots of service, but I probably wouldn't say I was engaged. Well, anyway, I was sitting there listening to him talk, and yeah, I became totally sold on the project. And at that night at the dinner, I wrote on a serviette my email address and said, please email me, it could change my life. And I gave it to him. It's totally out of character for me. But anyway, I gave it to him, and there was 400 people at the dinner, and walked away. And he came back up to me, and he gave me the hand to look at, which he had for the presentation, and I have one here for you to have a look at, which I will put out in the audience while I'm talking so that you can all check it out. So I then did the facilitating training on how to actually put the hand together, and it takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to actually put the hand together. And so I did the training with another member from my club, and now we go around to clubs within South Australia and facilitate assembling the hand. So there's a few different areas of the project. There's buying the hands, assembling the hands, and then taking the hands to countries that have landmine victims. So we've been to Cambodia and fitted hands there, and we are going to Sri Lanka in June to fit another 200 hands. So we're a RAWCS group, so it's run through Queensland, and I think there's 3 members from South Australia going, including me. When we went to Cambodia, we fitted 93 hands, which we Terry organised through the government disability group. So he got the people in, organised the project, we went in there and fitted them. It's quite challenging to put them together, but it's extremely rewarding. I know Sam's done it at his club. It's an incredibly rewarding 2 hours, lots of frustration, a lot of teeth gnashing, but it's a really good teamwork thing to do for your club. So I want to just show you a little bit of a video that we took when we were in Cambodia, just to give you an idea of the people that we're trying to put these hands onto.
I wanna hold your hand.
So that was the program as we started it in Siem Reap and through Battambang through Cambodia. The young girl at the end, I'll just tell her a quick story. She actually lives in the Landmine Museum just out of Siem Reap. She was found after having a limb blown off by a landmine, and they took her in, and they have a school behind there. Anyway, she'd never written in her life, and they brought her in, excuse me, to be fitted, and we fitted her hand, and then she held her pen and started writing for the first time. So there's moments like that. Out of the 93, there's double amputee that you saw there, who actually had both hands fitted, and then we do the training to teach them how to eat with a knife and fork, how to write, how to clean their teeth, just how to use it. It's a very simple mechanism. I'll just pass it around, and feel free to have a look, see what you like with it. So as a corporate program in America, it gets taken into corporations, and they sit down in a venue like this and they put the hands together. So it's about working together as a team, communicating as a team, finding out the bits that you're very good at and the things that you are not very good at, and then working out who can do the best things. So usually it works, 2 people put a hand together, it takes about 2 hours. Sometimes 3 people can put a hand together, but probably no more. So what we're looking for at the Man and Muster is to get at least 20 people from this club to be engaged, to come and actually assemble the hands with us. So there'll be a lot of support there and people there to help you through the program. But yeah, it's challenging but a very rewarding project. Now, I also have another video. It does go on for quite a while, but I find that most people like this video because it gives you some facts about the landmines, and that's the group that we're trying to actually focus on. Excuse me just for a minute.
Rotary Australia World Community.
I'm just going to stop it there because I'm going to run out of time, and I want to talk to you just about our Sri Lanka trip. This trip was done through the government, but the Sri Lankan trip is done through a lady that I met at Unley Rotary Club, and she has put all the contacts in place in Sri Lanka through Cambodia, through Rotary clubs. So we'll actually be doing the whole project through Sri Lanka, going from Rotary Club to Rotary Club. As anybody that would understand, putting an international program into place is extremely time consuming. So to have someone that's put us in contact with people in Sri Lanka will be incredibly helpful, because it was very difficult to get into Cambodia through the government way, and it's been very hard still to maintain it. Another project leaves on Saturday to actually fit another 200 hands into Siem Reap in Cambodia. So I've just got a few more minutes. I have a lot of information about the landmines and how affecting. The one thing that really stood out for me when I did all the research was that if there were no landmines in Cambodia or Afghanistan, there would be 50% more land available for food production. So it affects everything. It affects their whole quality of life, not only that they're disabled from having a hand missing or a leg. So I guess it's a very quick overview, but what I have come here to do is to hopefully invite you to come to the Man and Muster and be prepared to be involved. And, you know, that serviette has totally changed my life. It's changed me. I would never have spoken in front of 10 people, never alone a whole club before. But when you're passionate about something, it's easy to talk about it. So I hope that you will come and that you will get engaged in the project, that you'll do some assembly yourselves, and you'll have the same opportunity for reward. One quick thing that I didn't explain, when you're there, whoever puts the hands together, we will take your photo with the hand, and when it gets unpacked to wherever the recipient is, whether that's Cambodia or Sri Lanka or Africa, wherever the project goes, when we open it up, we pull the photo out and say, these are the people that put your hand together, and you get to write a little note to them and give them your names, and then they will write a note back to you, and then we will get that to you, either as a club or personally by your email. So there's some sort of reciprocation about what you're doing and where it's ending up and what the difference is that you're making. So, you know, hope you pick up the opportunity to come to Manning and to change someone's life, and you never know, it might change yours. Thank you very much for having me today.
There's time for a couple of questions, so anybody got a question from the floor? Yes, John Bahana. John.
How many landmines would you estimate are still in Cambodia? Is there any
I don't know in Cambodia, but when I was doing my research, worldwide there's 110 landmines still laid that haven't been detonated, let off. So there's 110 million still out there, sorry. I just forgot one little bit. 110 million that are still out there. And of course, as we speak, they're still laying them. The landmine treaty, USA didn't sign it, so they're still making them and laying them. There's only about 7 countries that didn't sign it, Afghanistan, Iraq, but USA is one of them. So they're still being laid as we talk. So the problem is still being, you know, revolved around. So,
one more? You right? Any more?
I'll ask a question.
Okay.
Sally, where do the hands come from?
they're made in America. Because that's where the corporate project was first started, and that's where it comes from still. They have looked at getting them made in China, but the quality wasn't as good, so they've stuck to having them still brought in from America. So they're at the moment, they're $350 a hand, and you need to buy a kit of 10. So, you know, I'm looking at innovative ways to market it. Like in our club, we just bought another 10, and we're on selling 5 to families and some other people that are interested in putting them together. And then we're going to put some intellectually disabled people in with our club to put the other 5 together. And then hopefully we'll get another 10. Sorry.
One quick one from Roland, that's it.
Thanks very much for bringing the hand. It's obviously these grips, the mechanism and the means for it to actually grip is not there. And where does that come from? Do you need to be a professional to fit that?
No, you don't need a professional to fit it, and it works on a spring load, so you put the fingers down and then you put the hand down and it releases the spring. It's a really simple mechanism. And also, I learned how to do it in 2.5 hours, and so will you. So in the countries where they go, they're sustainable. We just give them all the bits and they can replace them if they break or break down.
Okay, Sally.
Thank you, sorry.
No, that's fine. Wow, how about that, eh? Sally Charlton. Every year for the last 7 or 8 years, we've taken this club away. The president's taken the club away to Penola and Mildura, and we've always liaised in with the local club there and made a charitable donation to the club. And this year we're going to Mannum. And when I spoke to past President Sam Cousins of the Rotary Club of Murray Bridge, he said, well, look, the best project I think you could join us is in the Helping Hands project. And as a result of Helping Hands, it's now part of Pete's Mannum muster for those who want to volunteer up there to lend a hand. But through all that, we were able to meet Sally Charlton, and what a remarkable woman. Lives in Wellington. That's not Wellington, New Zealand, that's Wellington on the Murray. And when we invited Sally to come through Sam, she's put a tremendous effort, obviously, into the work that she does. She's an amazing volunteer, and she's certainly a wonderful ambassador for Rotary and for Helping Hands. And for that, would you join me in thanking Sally for being here today and speaking to us?